fighting over costumes, ridiculous movie demands, and backlash over a family tragedy. What started the ongoing feud between stars Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall? Will the two ever work together again? Keep watching for the details. In 2008, Clifford Strite, the real-life inspiration behind Willie Garson's Stanford Blatch, tried to sell a book proposal about the Sex and the City stars. According to the New York Post, in the proposal, Strite revealed that while the four stars were the best of friends on screen, the reality was very different. According to Strite, Cattrall was a natural comedian and a scene stealer in the best possible sense. The camera went right to her.
You know what they say? Big arms, big arms.
Hello, 911? I'm on fire.
That didn't sit well with Sarah Jessica Parker, who was supposed to be the series' lead, so Parker reportedly decided to ostracize Cattrall. Strite claims Parker, Cynthia Nixon, and Kristen Davis supposedly formed a clique, which omitted Cattrall and the show's creator-producer Darren Star. Cattrall and Star reportedly leaned on each other, but when Star exited the show after 2 seasons, Michael Patrick King took over his role. Cattrall was left completely isolated. The alleged rift was so major that while shooting in Atlantic City, Parker supposedly rented a house to share with Davis and Nixon, but didn't invite Cattrall. An HBO spokesperson said at the time that Kim stayed in a different house because she was married, and her husband was supposed to come. But rumors of on-set drama kept mounting. One source told the New York Post that no one would speak with Cattrall, quote, not even in the makeup room. Sex and the City came to a close in 2004 after 6 successful seasons. Many fans were left to wonder why the ladies hadn't kept going. Kim Cattrall revealed on Friday Night with Jonathan Ross that it wasn't the rumored feuding which ended the show, but her salary negotiations. Cattrall admitted, "I felt after 6 years, it was time for all of us to participate in the financial windfall of Sex and the City. When they didn't seem keen on that, I thought it was time to move on." According to The Telegraph, Cattrall first asked for a raise when Sarah Jessica Parker received an executive producer promotion during season 2. It apparently alienated her from her co-stars, who reportedly, quote, wouldn't even sit with her at mealtimes. And as if to prove that point, Parker sat with Cynthia Nixon and Kristen Davis at the 2004 Emmys, while Cattrall sat at a different table. Cattrall candidly replied after being questioned about it, "Are we the best of friends? No, we're professional actresses. We have our own separate lives." Parker was adamant that Cattrall's pay was never an issue, saying, "Cattrall mentioned money and no one should vilify her for it. People made a decision that we had vilified her." Kim Cattrall made it clear she was unhappy with what she earned on the show. A source close to Cattrall told the New York Post, "There was a disparity between what Sarah got and what the other girls got. Money reportedly ended up being a deciding factor behind her joining the first Sex and the City film." Cattrall told Marie Claire in 2008 that she initially declined because she didn't feel, quote, ready and strong enough to revisit Samantha. Chris Albrecht, HBO's former chairman and CEO, noted, "Sarah was becoming more and more famous, and her salary increased beyond what was contractually committed, which is normal for hit shows. The other actresses wanted to keep up." But Cattrall insisted it was all about timing. She admitted, "4 years ago, I was going through a painful public divorce. The series was coming to an end, and my father was diagnosed with dementia. I felt it was time to be with my real family." When the movie was finally released in May 2008, it was a hit at the worldwide box office, earning nearly $419 million. But according to The Telegraph, shooting it wasn't easy. The supposed feud between Sarah Jessica Parker and Cattrall reportedly became so petty that the two stars fought over their outfits because, quote, each coveted the other's costumes. When the 4 actors reunited for 2010 Sex and the City 2, Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall put up a united front, adamantly denying rumors of a beef between them. Parker told Elle, "I don't think anybody wants to believe that I love Kim. I adore her. I wouldn't have done the movie without her." Cattrall responded in the Daily Mail, saying, "I think Sarah was right. People don't want to believe that we get on. They have too much invested in the idea of 2 strong, successful women fighting with each other." Cattrall told Marie Claire at the time that, "The chemistry among the 4 of us is very strong." Kristen Davis called the rumors ridiculous, and Cynthia Nixon noted, "It hasn't always been smooth sailing, but the idea that we're somehow adversarial is ludicrous." Parker agreed, saying, "When you're on set, you're working 90-hour weeks. You're never home, you're exhausted. There are times when all of us have been sensitive, and sometimes feelings get hurt." Despite their claims, New York Magazine reported in 2009 that tensions were indeed quite high, alleging that Parker and Cattrall were not speaking to one another on set. In September 2017, Sarah Jessica Parker told Extra that a third Sex and the City movie had been in the works with a, quote, beautiful, funny, heartbreaking, joyful, very relatable script and story. She also confirmed, "It's over. We're not doing it." Parker said she was disappointed, and her fellow stars shared their own anger, with Kristen Davis writing on Instagram, "It is deeply frustrating not to be able to share that chapter with all of you. I wish that we could have made the final chapter on our own terms to complete the stories of our characters. It was initially unclear why the project fell through, but the Daily Mail placed the blame on Kim Cattrall, with a source alleging that the actor was, quote, always playing the victim. The Insider further claimed that the film fell apart right before pre-production because Kim had the audacity to tell Warner Brothers that she would only do this if they made other movies she had in development. Another source supported those claims, alleging that it was a fantastic script, but Warner Brothers couldn't give in to her ridiculous demands. Kim held everyone's life up. Her behavior is beyond disappointing. The drama surrounding the third Sex and the City film just couldn't be squashed. Kim Cattrall told Piers Morgan that she was cool with her co-stars making a third flick without her. She also confessed that she and the others had never been friends. According to People, an insider put the blame back on her, stating, "It's amazing Kim is saying she wasn't negotiating because she was absolutely asking for many demands, some of which have already been quoted. When she said the relationship was toxic, it's interesting because she is the one who creates the drama, but she won't take honest responsibility for her actions." Sarah Jessica Parker revealed on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen that she was heartbroken by Cattrall's comments, saying,
I don't know, I found it very upsetting because that's not the way I recall our experience.
Though we may never know what actually happened, another insider told People the truth may lie somewhere in between. The insider claimed Cattrall was willing to have a conversation, but she needed to hear something she hasn't heard before, namely that they would treat her character with some dignity and respect, and they wouldn't even engage in that sort of discussion. The insider was adamant that Cattrall was sick of having, quote, one humiliating plotline after another, and that she never wanted to derail things. The circumstances of the third Sex and the City film were brought up again by the Daily Beast in 2018. And this time around, Sarah Jessica Parker didn't brush off those feud rumors. Parker appeared to confirm that there was indeed beef between her and Kim Cattrall, and that it pulled the plug on the film. According to the Daily Beast, Parker said, "When things aren't true, especially when it is a personal attack about your character, the way you've chosen to conduct yourself specifically, I'm stunned by how deeply it still cuts. It's so painful because all you want to do is respond." The actor told the outlet that she was counseled not to fire back at Cattrall, but the MeToo movement inspired her to take a different approach. Parker said, "For so long, I was told to be quiet about all of that stuff. And all of a sudden, I'm like, if people are being encouraged to come forward and talk about really difficult, painful, potentially criminal things that they were part of or witnessed, I think I can talk about the Sex and the City 3 movie." In February 2018, Kim Cattrall took to Instagram to ask fans for help locating her missing brother, Christopher, who had disappeared from his home in Alberta, Canada. CNN reported that police found him dead on his property, and Cattrall confirmed the news on Twitter, writing, "We want to thank you all on social media for your outpouring of love and support in this trying time." But that sentiment wasn't extended to Sarah Jessica Parker. Following the tragic news, Parker told Extra, "I can't begin to know how her family is managing such a loss. We all send her our love and condolences and grant her the privacy that she's asked for." Parker also told ET, "If somebody in your life, whether you're in touch with them or not, is suffering for any reason, it's involuntary that you want to convey condolences or sadness or just let someone know you're thinking about them." But Cattrall took issue with Parker's words. She took to Instagram saying, "I don't need your love or support at this tragic time. Your continuous reaching out is a painful reminder of how cruel you really were then and now. Let me make this very clear. You are not my family. You are not my friend. So I'm writing to tell you one last time to stop exploiting our tragedy in order to restore your nice girl persona." Following Kim Cattrall's very public diss on social media, Sarah Jessica Parker reverted back to denying any animosity with her former co-star. Parker told People, "I never responded to the conversation Kim had with Piers Morgan, where she said things that were really hurtful about me. We had this experience, and it was amazing, and nothing will ever be like it." Parker then responded to Cattrall's suggestion that they could make a third Sex and the City movie without her. Parker told People, "I couldn't imagine anyone else playing that part, so there was no fight. It was completely fabricated because I actually never responded. And I won't, because she needed to say what she needed to say, and that is her privilege." After the death of Cattrall's brother sparked major backlash, Parker didn't address the headline-making story. But a source told People she had good intentions, sharing, "Sarah called and texted Kim privately offering her support. When asked about her brother's passing on a red carpet, Sarah conveyed again her condolences and love." In January 2021, TV Line confirmed that Sex and the City was coming back to TV as a 10-episode HBO Max special called And Just Like That. But while Sarah Jessica Parker, Cynthia Nixon, and Kristen Davis signed on to reprise their roles, Kim Cattrall didn't. The show follows the trio as they navigate the complicated reality of life and friendship in their 50s. Casey Bloys, HBO Max Chief Content Officer, gave TV Line a hint about how they'll deal with the absence of Samantha Jones. Referencing Parker and executive producer Michael Patrick King, Bloys noted that they're not trying to redo Sex and the City, and they're not trying to say that these characters are reliving their 30s. It is very much a story about women in their 50s. Bloys went on to say, just as in real life, people come into your life, people leave, friendships fade, and new friendships start. So it should all feel somewhat organic. Cattrall didn't respond to the news outright, but she did subtly tell fans she had no regrets about walking away by liking a fan's tweet, according to Glamour. The fan's tweet read, "I absolutely love Sex and the City, and whilst I am saddened that Samantha will not return, I applaud doing what is best for you and think this is a great example of putting yourself first. Well done, Kim Cattrall."
This is about a clear decision, an empowered decision in my life to end one chapter and start another.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.